Oops. Well, there we go. Dun-dun-dun-dun-bam-bam. So I'm going to click the mute button on that. Oops. That's always great. At least nothing was exactly missed or anything, but still, it's just like, oof, fuck. What the fuck? Not here. No, check this first. Why not? God damn it. Ugh. Stupid thing. Got all these peanuts here, so I figure I'd go out here real quick. See how bad it is for heat. Well, could be better. Oh my god. Dude, all these flies are like using this for fucking shade, bro. Walk by and hearing all that. Jeez. I definitely want to get this shit watered, actually. Oh. Oh no, poor orb. Just fucked up Orb Weaver's nest. Didn't mean for that. Oh no, don't be on me. Oh, great. Oh. Okay, now it's on that. Alright. Poor little orb. Worked hard on that nest, and I looked at it. That's a feather. Cool. Okay. Well, another Orb Weaver. I almost fucked up the nest stuff. I don't want to, but see the spiders. There we go. Hey, Plop. Hi, Plop. Come here. Come on, Zuzu. Zukov boy. Put up that. God, just for 2 seconds, just to fucking do have all that. Ugh. What?
You have a lid to one of these?
Oh, just have a lid to my jars.
It's in there. It's perfect to stick those little microscopic screws in there.
Now to get a bowl load up. At least fed the squirrels and birds and all that. At least let them get a little something. I think before I let's go to work, I'm gonna maybe get a bowl or something and try to get some water in there. Maybe ice water or something. Because critters out there probably want it. Probably want that. Is there like a little bit of a extra little color to that? I was thinking it's just a black crow feather. Let's get some music going. It's quietness. Boo. Boo to the quietness. There we go. Zukov, what you doing over there, bud? Dogo. Oh, don't want to make sure it gets out. Hey. He's the lizard. You're good, though. This is a silly little thing. Just had to make sure he wasn't gonna run off and escape or some shit. So know how I likes to do that, especially in this heat. I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't have to deal with his ass. There we go. Again with the laundry room. Every time. Silly little thing. Ooh. That feels way better. My goodness, that definitely feels way better. Fucking lemon butter. Boop. Dude, I hate, like, the nasal allergy bullshit. Ugh. Fucking annoys me. I woke up with it hella bad this morning. With fucking, just like, literally like a waterfall of shit. And I was just like, bruh. I would try to blow it all out. My god, dude. Ugh. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. At least it's only 4 in the morning. I don't have to deal with it all the damn day. But, ugh. Oof. I hate it. You would think it would be a problem during like the fall and the winter time, but usually never is for me. Only during the fall and summers. Ugh. Another reason why I don't like the summer. Not a big fan of it. Not fond of it at all. Not a big fan. But let's see what's going on for 2 for today. For the little bit. For the little bit that's happening for even. Hey, I'll be doing that. There we go. Are them staging a convention coup on Biden? Ooh. Man, there's just more shit coming out with, like people going against Biden now. Man, what really annoys me about that is that like there are so many people that are just like, that are like last second joining it on this whole thing of like, oh fuck, maybe we should like, maybe we should drop this guy and not support him anymore. It's like that's probably some too little, too late shit right there. Just straight up. I hope it ain't, but likely is. And the thing is, like, even if they were to like force him to step down, there's not really many options that could replace him. Honestly, I mean, I think anyone would work, frankly, or just have a way better chance than Biden would. But like, there's only really, I think, a few people that honestly could actually like kind of take the mantle, and that would be, like, frankly, Kamala, Newsom, or Whitmer. And Whitmer's been really quiet about this shit, so I don't think it'd be her. Yep, Gavin Newsom's been a little vocal about it, more or less, to kind of stay the course, but I don't know what his recent position is since the debate and shit. I'm assuming probably the same. Because he kind of wants to, like, politically maybe take the stride of, like, oh, well, I will support Biden, but, and let him lose and let him take that L, and kind of have, like, another 4 years of Trump, or maybe another 4 years of Biden, one of the two. And he comes in 2028 to be like, oh, I will, like, be able to, actually do some proper legislation for the country and all this other shit. Dude, like, at least, give some sort of, like, a concession, or at least some sort of a, like, breadcrumb of a sort, to people. At least, offer something instead of just being against something. But that's kind of the only thing about, the political ambition shit about it. It's like, there's a perfect, sell now. So, you don't have to wait until 28 to, sell that shit. And frankly, you just simply, I think, would be way better about it. At least in comparison to fucking, like, anyone else, right now. Well, at least predominantly Biden. Because that old fool needs to just go. And I do still find it shocking that there are people that are still on support his ass. I decided to kind of like see what Zan's been doing lately, just for the shit and giggles, and it's just like, even his ass is just like so constantly just like, sucking up to his ass, and it's like, dude, like, it's like, do you not fucking get it, you fucking kid? Like, it's one of his most recent videos. It's like, we should be panicking about like Biden's poll numbers, and it's just like, you should be panicking that you have him as your fucking guy, bitch. Like, you should be panicking that he's even like the dude that we're supposed to like look up to see, as like the supposed wall against Trump and shit. This isn't 2020, and even then, when shit went down in 2020, the main reason why Biden won really in the first place was because of fucking COVID. There was not just a national but an international global fucking crisis. So, I mean, like, this idea of just constantly like sucking up to his own mummified dick is beyond stupid and just very childlike. It's just strict, political, sport team based bullshit. And Zenhal's like, fucking mentality of like politics is literally nothing more than of a fucking child. Like, he's not smart, he's not intellectual in any fucking means. Like, anytime he does branch off in his own opinions and takes, they always end up being stupid. And always end up being on like the wrong side of things. Like, he's a fucking moron. Like, and it's just like, frankly, I think fucking insulting to anyone left to like consider his positions for fucking anything, because they're not worth like really anything outside to be dunked on and just like showing how much of like really how like really not smart he is about these things and how unintelligent he is. He has a very like like third grade level understanding of politics, and that's pretty much about it. It's like, yeah, you used to be on the right, and then you deconverted from that shit. That doesn't make you like some sort of like arbiter of what is and isn't left, and like a know-it-all. Especially when you're younger than my ass, and pretty much barely do anything outside of like like stepping outside of your fucking streams. And Zan literally does fucking like nothing but that shit. He's really just like, fucking like, apartment dweller for the most part. Not a basement dweller, but he just like hangs out in his little studio apartment, does his little streams, and probably like, just smokes weed, games all the time. Like, he doesn't actually do anything that, could be productive or valuable for, leftism and shit. So it's like, why in the fuck would I listen to anything he has to say when he has like no actual experience on it? Yeah, reading up about shit and reading poll numbers and stuff online and reading articles and some stupid Twitter drama bullshit does not tell me fucking anything. Like, so I could give a shit. Like, where's the actual experience, to back this type of stuff up? It's good to have that, but unless you don't have anything, like, when it comes to the experience to back it up and actually have, like, the lived experience, for that shit, then why should I, like, listen to you at that point? It's like, you're not going to have anything to offer me. At least nothing that I don't already know. It's so fucking ridiculous. Like, even other people that that are like in these other communities that are tangential to Zan's, like, I've been noticing this too. They're just like, man, I don't really like him anymore. He's fallen off because he's just like a total Biden simp now and blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why. He's even a fucking Zionist. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about Palestine either. As much as he might, like, mention that, be like, oh, well, look, I care about that, but... No, there ain't no but, bitch. Like, it's like, take the but out of it. Like, you're either in favor, of the Palestinians and against the genocide, which includes being against Biden, or you're not. You can't walk a tightrope on that shit. Pick a lane. And that's what he wants to do. Like, Zan wants to do that shit. He wants to, like, have one foot in the liberal, like, fucking status quo door and one foot in leftism. It's like, Even like, Vosh doesn't do it nowhere near as hard as his ass. And even then, like, I feel like Vosh, I think, can at least recognize that, like, liberals are, more or less like kind of a means to an end, more so than like something to actually consider. But whatever. Oh, that's actually something new. Is Biden showing Parkinson's symptoms of Parkinson's? Well, this should, be another reason as to why, like, this, this old dawdling fuck, is not fit for office.
This one right here, I gotta be honest, I wasn't too stoked to talk about this one. Because it's hard to have a conversation like we're about to have in a way that is responsible, right? It's always, when you're speculating about somebody else's health and you get into, like, hardcore specifics, I don't know, something about it feels kind of slimy and gross. But I do feel like when it comes to Biden at this moment, the evidence is so strong that it kind of is the reasonable and responsible thing to do to look a little deeper and to try to figure out what's going on with this guy, right? Is it possible that what we're looking at is just standard, hey, this is just aging. And now that he's getting older, it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. And it gets.
And if it's hitting Biden so hard when it comes to this shit, that should still be a problem. Like, that's fundamentally a problem, whether, he does or doesn't when it comes to this shit. I mean, if it's speculative that it's so bad when it comes to his cognitive abilities that he actually could probably have fucking Parkinson's or some shit, like, bruh, dude, he shouldn't be, like, he should step down, like, fucking now and be, like, in a medical facility to be treated. Like, at that point. Like, he's not fit. Like, I mean, what the fuck?
Relatively quickly. I mean, certainly that's possible. That's certainly within the realm of possibility. But what's not in the realm of possibility is, everything's fine. Everything's great. He's just as sharp as he always was. I mean, come on. That's... No, but...
Hey, Kyle, I know you know the meme. This is fine. And yeah, the house might be burning down, but, hey, it's all good. It's fine.
I can sincerely believe that, right? Now, somebody might say, well, yeah, he's getting older and it shows, but also I just don't care because Trump is so evil and so bad that, as some people have said, I would vote for Joe Biden's dead body over Donald Trump. I mean, I get that, right? I understand that. I understand when people say the threat of Trump is so bad that whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to overlook all the negative things and just go ahead. Okay, fair enough. But it's the people who try to deny what you can hear and what you can see. Those are the ones who just disgust me. So, look, Jonathan Chait tweeted this. And remember, Jonathan Chait is a centrist's centrist. He is the perfect kind of guy who Biden appeals to. He actually tweeted out this article that I wanted to share with you. They're trying to get into specifics here as to whether or not Joe Biden may have Parkinson's. So here's what they say. One possible explanation for President Biden's disastrous debate performance last week that many people are trying hard to ignore is that the president has a degenerative neurological disease. Since then, I've spoke to several medical experts who believe the odds are high that Biden is suffering from some form of Parkinsonism. The cluster of degenerative neurological conditions, of which Parkinson's disease is the best known, none of these experts are, of course, purporting to make a formal diagnosis. What they are insisting on is that it's deeply irresponsible not to give Biden the sort of medical examination that would be given to any ordinary 81-year-old who had the evident symptoms he's displaying. According to these experts, Biden has been exhibiting various classic symptoms of Parkinson's, including a slowed walk. He definitely has a slow walk. Slight lurching.
I mean, a lot of old people tend to have slow walks anyway.
Inertia when starting a step or turn. Flat face, which is called hypomimia. Flat face, and you're about to see in a second. I think that's kind of reasonable to see a little bit of that too. I'll show you in a second. A staring look with diminished blinking.
That really is some Biden shit right there. Like, he does that all the time, where he's just like, just kind of like literally stares off.
The staring look is definitely happening. The diminished blinking, I haven't taken note of that, but perhaps that's happening too. And a low, raspy voice, definitely.
Yeah, like, because Biden will do that sometimes. He'll go into, like, Yeah, like he'll like kind of go into that weird, like kind of whispery, low, raspy Macmillan voice. Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, considering his fucking age and shit, whether it's Parkinson's, dementia, or whatever, this is just, more, as far as I care, more proof and, like, more, evidence, honestly, to stack up, towards the fact that Biden's just not fit to be running for office, let alone fucking running a goddamn campaign for it. It's just like, there, I mean, if there's going to be, like, an attempt to, like, get this guy out, it needs to happen, especially with the fucking, national convention. Because if not, I mean, then I do think Trump probably would win. Like, honestly, just straight up. I don't think, like, there is a path that Democrats can have to victory with Biden, at the fucking wheel. Like, I mean, just there isn't. Unless there was, like, some Hail Mary and a bunch of his staffers literally just, like, co-opt, power or something, and, basically is, like, ran as, like, the Biden council, where he's just, like, the face of it, or something. I don't know. Like, there would have to be something, like, it's like, fucking, like, in Endgame or some shit. It's like, what are the odds to beat him? All the odds are against us, but one. It's just like we have to basically hit the right fucking, we have to hit the right gamble. There's only one way to defeat him. It's like, shit, dude. I mean, if we're gonna go Biden, that basically would be the outcome. If it was someone like Newsom or even Kamala, I do think there would be, way more of a chance, for Democrats to, squeak it out. Like, honestly, like, straight up. And I don't even like Kamala. Like, she basically, like, rose her way to vice president on the virtue of not even getting a fucking vote. But, you know what? Maybe she can have her chance. We'll see if she actually has, earned it all, after all this time.
All occurring together. Quote, the pathologic elements seem fully aligned, one doctor who has treated many Parkinson's cases told me. Now, by the way, Parkinson's, there's shaking with that too, I believe. I haven't seen any shaking from him, right? So maybe, is it early? Maybe we're early in the process here. I don't know for sure. I spoke with two eminent medical academics who are nationally known experts on the subject of Parkinson's and other movement disorders, and whose work on this subject has been cited thousands of times in the medical literature. Both these doctors are chaired professors of neurology at a top medical school. In separate interviews, I asked each of them to comment on Biden's White House physician, Kevin C. O'Connor, claimed that Biden shows no signs of Parkinson's and therefore does not need to be tested for the disease. O'Connor's public report on Biden's health back in February made this claim, and according to the White House, nothing has happened since, including Biden's debate performance, has changed O'Connor's view. O'Connor is an osteopath whose specialty is combat medicine. He appears to have no specialized training in neurology, let alone movement disorders such as Parkinson's. So, in other words, look, the point they're making at the end there is, remember that doctor, Ronnie Jackson, Trump's doctor? He was just a fucking Trump sycophant and a massive partisan hack, and so he would go out there and say things like, Trump's the healthiest president that's ever lived, and everybody could look at him and be like, that's obviously fucking untrue, right? And it looks like on the Biden team, it's a similar thing, right? The doctor's just sort of covering for Biden. This isn't like...
No shit. Like, I mean, honestly, Biden is basically doing the Democratic version of Trumpisms. He's literally been doing that, like, when it comes to his talking points. Like, when it comes to, like, oh, well, we want to try to get this economy not rigged anymore, and blah, 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 Jack, or, shit like that. And then it's like, and then on top of that, now having, like, some crank-ass fucking doctor just basically, playing cover. And having, like, a whole loyalist team that's getting smaller and smaller that is just, like, gaslighting all of America and the world to say, like, no, everything's fine, we're staying the course, it's all good. Like, fucking Christ, bro. He's just basically doing, like, like Trumpisms, but it's blue. It's, like, and less insane. It's just more degraded neurologically because of how far gone this whole fuck is. Like, ugh.
Professional who's dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and always telling the truth. That's not what's happening here. So, this is the argument for, hey, maybe some of this is Parkinson's. I saw Michael Moore reference, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later. Michael Moore brought up potentially mini strokes, possibly. Mini strokes that have happened. Again, it could just be classic aging symptoms and the beginning of sundowning, because they literally say, hey, he's good from the morning until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he struggled.
Yeah, because he's literally sundowning. That's what it means. Like, I mean, the whole point of it is like old people after a certain time of day, usually once the sun starts going down, they start sundowning and shit. Like that's literally what it means. He's already having that as a problem.
Well, that's like literally the definition of sundowning. That it's like a form of dementia as you get older. That like you're good from certain hours, and then suddenly it hits you like a ton of bricks, and you start not being able to complete your sentences, and you're confused, etc. Right? But guys,
This is why old people need their naps in the day, so they can kind of recover that energy.
part, I don't see anybody really discussing this part of it, which I'm about to show you right now. Joe Biden in his life has had some pretty horrific health issues that could help explain where we are right now. So he had a brain aneurysm at one point. And I'll walk you through this. So this is a Washington Post article from May 14th, 2024. Biden once nearly died of an aneurysm. Risky surgery changed his life. So here we go. Joe Biden awoke suddenly in his hotel room, curled up on the floor and fully clothed, and felt an electric surge inside his head. A rip of pain like I never felt before, as he later recalled. It was 4:10 a.m. on a winter day in 1988. The debilitating headaches had been happening for nearly a year, interrupting his first presidential campaign as the 45-year-old Biden popped up to 10 Tylenols a day. He had been diagnosed with a pinched nerve and for a time wore a cervical collar. Now, as he lay on the floor of his hotel room in Rochester, New York, the pain was even worse. His legs felt dead, and he struggled to turn his head. Instead of heading to an emergency room, Biden flew home with an aide to Wilmington, Delaware, where he tried to get some sleep. Awakened hours later by even greater pain, he rushed to St. Francis Hospital. It wasn't a pinched nerve. Doctors found blood in his spinal fluid and then a dangerous balloon-shaped bulge, an aneurysm, on an artery wall at the base of the brain. Even worse, Biden's aneurysm had already burst, leaking blood around the base of his brain. The danger was immense. If the aneurysm burst again and sent blood coursing into his brain, it could potentially mentally and physically disable him or be fatal. A priest was called to his bedside to deliver last rites. Jesus. But Jill Biden, who has been ordered to stay out of the room, burst in, yelling at him to leave. You're not giving him the last rites. He's not going to die, she said, according to an account by Biden's sister, Valerie. Now there was only one hope, the doctors concluded. Biden needed immediate, risky surgery. The race was on to save Biden's life. The story of how Biden survived the aneurysm, as well as a second one and a blood clot, is one of the most...
Jesus, like, this dude's head is all fucking, like, jank, bro. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I do think this does explain a lot of why we're seeing him, like, kind of, sundown declining a lot. Because, like, his head has literally been, like, through multiple ringers, and it's, like, got blood clots, that build up in his head over, the course of years and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Little understood episodes of in the life of the 81-year-old president. So, I mean, they needed to get in there and do brain surgery. When we were on vacation this past week, we were sitting at the pool, and Crystal's mom made a point that really stuck with me. She said, there's a saying among neurosurgeons, and it's, once the air hits the brain, you're never the same.
Whoa. Whoa. Dude, even that kind of hit me there for a sec. Like, whoa. That's kind of deep. Whoa. Like, whoa. I don't even, like, whoa, that kind of, like, makes you think. What the fuck? I wonder, man. That's kind of freaky. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Apparently, if you have a surgery like that, and if you've struggled with an issue like this, it makes it more likely in your later years that you have issues, let's say. That you have issues. And at this point, I mean, with the immense pressures and struggle of being...
And this is kind of why you need to, like, kind of protect your head. Because the more, like, shit that you do to your head, like, or at least your brain, then, the more likely, problems arise later down in life.
The stress, like, it can even speed it up, right? And I think that's what we're looking at now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, a particular form of dementia or Parkinson's, or he had mini strokes or whatever. I don't know. but he ain't the same, man. And finally, I'll leave you with this. I think I've showed you this before. But guys, this is just going back to 2019. This is 5 years ago, right?
Jesus. Oh my fucking God. There's even physically a difference. He actually, like, looks somewhat alive. What the fuck is up with his chin, dude? What is going on with him? What is happening to him, dude? Like, fucking Christ. Dude, like, people just can't fucking ignore that. Like, he actually looks alive here. He actually almost looks like he has, like, some of, like, Trump's orange tan, almost. And then there's this, like, weird melting fucking candle wax stick carcass that's just... Oh, my God, dude.
And I want you... Look, first of all, before I even click play, look at how he looks here and how he looks in 2024. I mean, it's 5 years. He looks like 10 to 15 years older. Remember the thing they said, the blank stare and the flat face? Well, look at his chin here. Like, his face looks flatter here, too. Right now, he's had facelifts. I don't know if, maybe that has something to do with, he got the facelift and then over time it sort of sags again. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it, right? I don't want to act like I know here for sure. I don't. But the blank stare...
I mean, I guarantee you that's probably what's going on there, honestly. If he's done, he's done plastic surgery and facelifts and shit. And I would not be surprised whatsoever if, he's, gotten that shit.
Definitely there. It looks like a flatter face to me. He looks 10 years younger here, and it's been 5 years. So, and now we're going to listen to his speech. Here we go.
I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way...
Oh my God, it is so fucking way better. Like, he's still kind of like, well, now try to look. Just, we got to get in fight. Like, he's still kind of like mumbly old man, but at least it's like coherent.
Include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
He wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare to, for the ability to, for the...
I did not
Bro.
busing in America. What I oppose is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I oppose.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the...
It's like you can't even see his eyes. They're like these empty little black holes, these empty little vessels, dude. And he's just like in 2019, he can at least still be like, now look, I was opposed, not to, busing. I was opposed to, certain busing orders at the Department of Education. Yeah, I tell you, what I was trying to do, Jack. It's like he's still kind of like mumbly and shit, but again, he's fucking coherent. Like, at least, in this, like, look, I can honestly grant, like, 2020. I'll grant, like, well, look, there's, probably some questions about his health and age, but I can at least understand why people maybe were a lot more, like, willing to overlook that. Because, granted, it really wasn't as bad. Nowhere near as bad. And now this? It's like, no. Like, and he even said he was going to run as, single-term president anyway, and yet here we are. So it's like, I mean, it should have been that way. Like, honestly, it's like, hey, if you're going to, especially if, like, maybe he was aware he probably wouldn't necessarily cognitively be there, and fit for it at this point, then, yeah, some shit changed, like, straight up. Because, I mean, it is shocking what the difference is between these, between these two different Bidens.
Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if you will be...
Joe Biden, wake up.
Determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
So look, the other thing is, if you go back, like,
Oof. Oof. Oof.
what you're seeing there is 2019 and 2020 versus 2024. You go back to 2016, he's even sharper than 2020, right? So I don't know. It could just be aging. It could be something more serious than that.
This isn't just aging. I mean, I won't accept that, because if that's the case, then what about Bernie? Bernie is like a year older than Biden or some shit like that. He's pretty much around the same fucking age. And yet he is way more cognitively there with it, way more sound, and just, nowhere near, on a decline, if he really is, honestly, outside of just not being as energetic as he used to. But it's just like, I mean, for Bernie, there's an actual argument of like, yeah, maybe he's just old, and that's it. But for Biden, yeah, he's old and like literally sundowning and neurologically declining rapidly. That's not just, age.
But the fact that we're even having these conversations and that Biden has to come out like every other day now and release another statement, I'm in, I'm doing great, I'm in, everybody calm down, please, calm down. That's not a good sign. Especially when the stakes are a guy who says he wants to suspend the Constitution and invoke the Insurrection Act and become a full authoritarian, right? So I want him to willingly step aside. Also, because again, I don't
even give a fuck if it's willing or not. I don't care if he's willing. Like, I mean, he needs to be forced to step aside. I don't give a fuck. Like 25th Amendment or 28th Amendment, I think it is. Like, I mean, invoke that shit. Like, say, nah, fuck this, you're out. Like, come on, step it in now. Like, I mean, because at least at that point, she could take over, the reins of the campaign, basically.
It is kind of like elder abuse. Now, he's also doing the elder abuse to himself here. That doesn't make it any better, right? He can't do it. He can't do it. So, I don't know. You guys tell me below. What do you think is going on here? And is it irresponsible to even have this conversation? I don't think it is. He's the fucking president of the United States, and he wants to be president for another 4 more fucking years. To not have this conversation is probably way more irresponsible than speculating about his health at this point, given all the signs. Hey, y'all.
No shit. I think it's more irresponsible to try to stay the course, with Biden at this point, more so to argue about getting him out. Like, because, fundamentally, I do understand, the plight and the fear about Trump as an existential threat, because I believe that, especially with Project 2025. It's like, I mean, it's like, I mean, I want to have like a strong opposition against that, but Biden's not that. He's almost like a gateway for these motherfuckers. Like, and I don't want that. I don't want like, the gate being open, because, the fucking old bastard's asleep at the wheel. Like, I mean, replace the guard, because, that old guard, it's like ain't really, as active as he used to be on the fucking, gate. So fuck that shit. Like, I mean, so you want, it's like, for me, it's like you want to stop Trump, then get Biden out. Like, it ain't too late for that. I mean, so, I'm hoping. I'm dead ass really hoping for it, because holy shit, dude. I mean, there's a whole thing, like, Kyle, actually, it's right below this. Tsunami of Dems say Biden should step down. I mean, more and more of them are just coming out with this. And then, like, the whole, what was that, everyone? Our Dems staging a convention coup of Biden. So, yeah, like, it honestly, it generally seems like it probably is more likely to happen. But I would hope so. Well, got one more bowl loaded up to go to work, but this is interesting. Maybe we'll look at this when I get off work. Trump sprints away from Project 2025. Huh? Not gonna lie, a little confusing. I'm really wondering why he's doing that. That's strange. Well, I guess maybe not really strange. I just kind of find it a little peculiar. But anyway, let's call it good for now. All that good shit. So, peace out for now, and see y'all when I get off work, or maybe I might pop in for a lunch break or something. I don't know.